the delay is in preparation for something special.
Enhance.
What this could be is pretty much anyone's guess.
Hello everyone and welcome to our November development update. We hope that you've been having a glorious month, and it's definitely been one for us. We
Oh hi, Sawman here, and I'm back with another video. Let's put on that new Ashes of Creation footage which everyone's going to be using for the next 6 months. So one of the biggest questions being asked right now by the Ashes of Creation community is of course that elusive Alpha 2 release date. There has been a lot of speculation as to when this will be released. Some people are saying January, some people are saying March, some people are saying not in our lifetime. The truth is, this is a closely guarded secret by the dev team. It might be because they have no idea when to expect the release, or maybe they're just trying to build up hype in the right way. Either way though, any video stating an exact release date is most likely speculating or just clickbait. Oh hi, welcome to my channel. But what makes Alpha 2 so special? Why are people forking out hundreds of dollars to a game that doesn't have a scheduled release date? In this video, I hope to go over the speculation as to when we can expect the Alpha 2 to be released, what the Alpha 2 actually gives you, and of course, how much is it going to set you back. And to anyone wondering if I have access to Alpha 2, if I forked out that amount of money, well, I have news for you. I haven't paid for Alpha 2 yet, but hopefully after today's sponsor, which is, of course, Raid Shadow. Oh, yeah, no, I'm just fucking with you. I don't have a sponsor in today's video. I mean, I was going to have a sponsor, but it fell through, and do you know what? I just can't bother sponsors. But Stephen, if you're listening and you want to gift me an Alpha 2 key, I mean, I'll happily have it, Stephen. That'd be fine. In the meantime, I guess I'll just keep making clickbait content. But yeah, cool. All right, let's carry on the video. Let's go. Okay, to use simplified terms here, it generally goes alpha release, beta release, and then production release. The alpha is the prerequisite to the beta, and the idea is it's like the biggest test environment to have. Beta is a little bit more polished and is more similar to the end production game. To give you an example, New World. The New World alpha is actually a far cry from what the production game currently is. In the alpha, they had stuff like building, full loot PvP, and all sorts of different shenanigans. Whereas the beta was more refined, it had the flagging option for PvP, and it's actually closer to what production looks like now. So why on earth are people excited about the Alpha 2 release for Ashes of Creation? Well, it's simple. The Ashes of Creation Alpha 2 is a persistent alpha. What this essentially means is that Alpha 2 will be live, it'll be up and running until the actual full production launch of Ashes of Creation. There will be a Beta 1 and Beta 2 testing phase, but by the looks of it, I feel like it's just going to be more the same as the Alpha 2, but maybe like a more secluded audience, or, you know, sent out to promoters and stuff, or influencers. So you can start to understand why people are excited by an Alpha 2, because essentially you get to play the game early and until it's fully released. Don't get me wrong, with alphas there will be bugs and all sorts of testing going on, there might be server wipes, so it's not as good as the end product, but it's the closest thing you're going to get to it. People are wary by alphas though, because look at Star Citizen, which is indeed another persistent alpha, which has been in a alpha stage for God knows how long. Which then leads to the next question, which is of course, how do you get access to Alpha 2? So the simple fact of the matter is, the Ashes of Creation Alpha is not free, unless you win a copy or you beg for a copy from Stephen. Hi Stephen. So if you want access to Alpha 2, realistically, how much is it going to set you back? Well, the simplified answer is it's going to cost you $250. But wait, there's more. By purchasing the Voyager pre-order pack, this gives you Alpha 2 access, Beta 1, Beta 2, 6 months of game time, which is valued at $90, $100 in Embers, which is like an in-game currency, not pay to win, they want to point out, and a bunch of cosmetics. It is by no means a cheap investment. However, it is worth noting you do technically get a copy of the game for 6 months via their sub thing and the in-game currency. But if you look at the 6 months, which is worth $90, it only technically means you're paying $160 for alpha access. Obviously, not everyone can justify or even afford $250. I myself definitely can't afford to spend $250 on a game which hasn't got a release date yet. You have to remember, I'm a full-time content creator, so I'm poor as fuck. Please sign up to my Patreon. A lot of people are forking this out simply for Alpha 2 access, which doesn't even have a release date as of yet. I don't feel like these people are suffering from copium, but more of a fear of missing out. And furthermore, you have to remember, some people paid $500 for the original alpha access when it was first advertised. So on the bright side, I mean, at least it's gone down in price, but very much like NFTs, sure, they sound good, but me personally, I won't be investing in it until there's something more solid. And I'm pretty sure I'll get salty comments for that comment. The speculation on this question has been fucking wild. And it's been anywhere from March next year to 2020 never. In recent months, they've shown more and more footage of the gameplay, which in itself has caused some stir in the community, because simple things like not having a defined mechanism for blocking as of yet.
Okay, he doesn't seem to be doing much damage to me, but of course it would normally consume stamina, is that correct, Tread?
That depends. We're still kind of discussing our resource systems, but, you know, that is one thing that we could potentially explore.
We're still kind of discussing our resource systems, but, you know, that is one thing that we could potentially explore.
As you just heard, that's the team discussing how block will function in Ashes of Creation, which seems like a cool mechanic that you should be kind of aware of by now. It seems like a lot of us forget just how big this game is going to be. So therefore, when you do get a showcase of a bit of gameplay and you think that's probably like 1% of the game, it makes you wonder what's going on with the other 99%. They've boasted about all these different mechanics and like play styles and mini games and everything else, but the last stream before this was showing off a tree being cut down, and before that it was the weather system and seasons. Yeah, I mean, the game is huge, there's a lot to it, but we're only being spoon-fed very little aspects of it. One thing to remember is that the Alpha 1 was in June 2021. I mean, initially it was June, but it got pushed back to July, but either way, it was 2021, which means that Intrepid Studios have been keeping us waiting for over a year now for any other additional alpha access. So how much longer can they hold it off? They clearly have some level of gameplay ready to go and a server to show it off on, hence the footage that they've been showing us, but how up to scratch is it really? The other thing to remember is back in 2021, Ashes of Creation had nowhere near the same amount of hype as it does now. So, you know, 2023, huge amount of hype, potential to get more sales with Alpha 2. I get the feeling they are likely to publish it next year. I just don't think it's going to be at the start of the year. It's probably more likely to come out Q3 or Q4 2023. And what am I basing this on, you're asking? Well, it's simply from a business standpoint. Most people won't release anything in January because sales-wise and even just support-wise, it's not a good month for it. You're busy because it's the hangover of the holidays, and therefore you want to keep January pretty straightforward. February and March is usually spent closing off any projects that you have open, ready for next year's budget, the 2023 budget. And let's be honest, if they did intend to release it in the early part of the year, they would have already been marketing that Founders Pack for $250. And I don't recall the last time they were really pushing people to buy that. So for me, I don't see this being released until after April because it's a new year, it's a new project. You know, if they need a new server for Alpha 2, it's going to be easier to balance the books, as opposed to trying to whack it on the end of 2022's budget. This game is literally built of speculation and hope. And with that, I just want to say there's still a December live stream where, hell, they might set a date for Alpha 2. I mean, why would you do it in November anyway? You want to give people a Christmas gift, you do it in December, right? Anyway, that's the end of the video. I don't know when Alpha 2 release will be. I just think we've got a while to go yet. If you guys do want to help me get Alpha 2 access for the low cost of free, please send this video to Steve and say, help Sawman, he really needs alpha access. Or, you know, you could sign up to my Patreon or just give me the money yourself. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. Or am I? I would love to hear your thoughts on the Alpha 2 release, so by all means comment below. I do tend to read most of the comments, even the hurtful ones. So, there you go. And hopefully I'll catch you on the next video. Bye bye for now.